Tennessee baseball survives in Hoover, back against the wall. Elimination game after yesterday's debacle against Vanderbilt, but they pull through. It's going to be a 7-4 win for Tennessee over Texas A&M. I'm Ryan Sylvia. This is Noah Taylor. We're with VolReport.com on the Rivals Network. We're inside Hoover. We're inside the Hoover Met, so we do apologize, just like yesterday, for background noise, for lighting issues, or for whatever it is. But let's start with Kavaris Tears. Big day for him. 4 RBI, hits a single, a double, and a home run. What did you see from him?
Yeah, Tony talked a little bit about it a minute ago, but I think it was good for this team. Again, we talked about it yesterday. That Vanderbilt loss really meant nothing, I think, for this Tennessee team. But to come out after the way that they did at the plate yesterday and get string together some hits, take advantage of some plays. And Kavaris Tears leads the way today. Gets an RBI there early, and then of course puts the game away essentially with the 3-run home run. I think that was good for him, and really the confidence of that lineup after yesterday. But especially for him, Tony talked about a fiery guy that's very talented, but is playing behind a bunch of talented guys in that lineup. So I think a good confidence booster for him, but I think the team fed off of it as well.
Yeah, he slid down the lineup a little bit, wasn't that cleanup spot. Dylan Dreiling rightfully slides into it with how impressive he's been recently, and Kavaris Tears goes down a couple spots, but a really productive game from him. What also helps was that pitching combination Tennessee's been using. They kind of treated this as maybe the Friday game, and then tomorrow will be the Saturday with Drew Beam, and then maybe a Xander Sechrist on the next game if they get to that point. So they open with Chris Stamos and they hand the ball to AJ Causey, and it works again. How'd you like it?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it all year with that combination, 2 guys that could easily be starters. Well, one is, but AJ Causey come out of the pen. Not a lot of teams have that luxury. But for him to come out today, and we talked about it on the way in, you felt pretty good about Tennessee winning this game because of that combination. Yeah. And they came through, and now here we are talking about, your Saturday guy pitching Drew Beam. And now the trajectory just kind of changes for this Tennessee team. Now you're looking at, making a run at this thing with that pitching staff. It starts with those 2 guys. Chris Stamos comes out obviously with a really solid outing in the starting role, but AJ Causey, A&M just really had no answer for it, especially after Tears puts up the 3-run homer.
Yeah, Kirby Cannell too, I think, is a big deal as well. Coming in, not flawless, pitches 1 2/3, gives up 3 hits and a solo shot to give up 1 run, but he was really effective coming in, and that's kind of been his role, is that veteran guy that's going to come in and calm things down that you can trust. And that's something that every team, of course, will take in the postseason, is when you get to this time of the year, you want to have guys that have been there and done that. And he's been on these College World Series teams. He's been on the team that won this tournament right behind us. So having that on your roster is a big deal. Now, what's going on right here is LSU, South Carolina. The game after that will decide who Tennessee plays. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. From a Tennessee perspective, if you're the Tennessee team or a Tennessee fan, who would you rather face right now? Vanderbilt, Mississippi State?
I think it's at Vanderbilt. I think that it's a team obviously you're familiar with. It'll be the 5th meeting between those 2 teams in like 2 weeks. So you have a lot of familiarity there. And if you're a Tennessee fan, you got to like this team being able to I think you get up more for that one if you're Tennessee. Obviously, you get to pitch Drew Beam. You got to feel good about that. But the fact that it's a little bit of a revenge game after the way that you lost in Game 1, and they put you in that elimination round. It's an in-state rivalry. I think that's the one that you want to root for as a Tennessee fan is Vanderbilt. And I think Mississippi State, we talked a little bit about it yesterday when we thought that Mississippi State was a team Tennessee would potentially face today when they played A&M. Mississippi State's a team that's fighting, I think, for a little bit more right now, and I think that Vanderbilt's the one that you could get up for easier.
Yeah, it's 2 pretty hot teams, though. Both teams coming in with a lot of momentum. Obviously, the loser gets a little bit of a chip to that, but either way, you're facing a team that's playing good baseball right now. But I agree. I think you have a little bit more of an emotional aspect with Vanderbilt. Of course, they're the in-state rival, and you can read into how much players actually feel the emotions of those rivalries. It's more for a fan that's been following a rivalry for 40 years than a player that's been there for 2 years. But those 2 teams don't usually get along, and Vanderbilt got the better of them. You can say, well, Tennessee used it as a bullpen day, this and that, but I can't imagine that they liked losing to Vanderbilt no matter how it came. So that could be a big game for them to say, all right, let's go. We got Drew Beam on the mound. Well, let's go get ours back. So that'll be something to look for if it is them, but they'll play tonight. So check out that. We'll have an update at VolReport.com once we find out who the opponent is for Tennessee as they look to punch their ticket to one of the final 4 teams left in the SEC tournament. Head over to VolReport.com. We have all the content you need on that tournament, football recruiting, and more. Thanks for watching.